Hello everybody, this is Gam here from the Black Lodge, here again with another Black Lodge Clan War recap. Before we get into that, as you can see I'm running a bit of a trophy base here, and I'm up in Crystal. That's because of the new update announcement. I'm heading to Champs and then to 4,000 pretty soon after that, hopefully. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's also where all my Dark Elixir went, because I threw my storage outside and I lost a lot of Dark Elixir in a very short amount of time to gain a few trophies up to 2100. Anyway, this is a particularly good war. We kind of treated it like it was a very serious war for the most part, even though they could not 3-star Town Hall 9s. They dipped 7 Town Hall 10 attacks on our 9s, and none of those dipped attacks 3-starred. Their only 3 stars were their number 27 guy. He had G6 starred and he had both of their 3 stars, so I guess he's by far their best player, probably. But they dipped 7 Town Hall 10 attacks, none of them 3-starred on our 9s, and they didn't clean up our 10s, so yeah. As you can see, we 3-starred their top 3 guys, number 8, 10, 11, 12, 14, 17, 18, which were all Town Hall 10s. And then we cleaned all the 9s and we 2-starred all the other 10s. So we had 9 Town Hall 10 3-stars, and they had some pretty decent bases strength-wise. Nothing super strong and nothing really good design-wise, but bases weren't terrible. So let's get into my attack on number 1. This was in the final few minutes of the war, or about 30 minutes left in the war. I kind of fell asleep and threw together this hog attack, and it did not go to plan at all, but it ended up 3-starring because I had a lot of luck in it. So let's get into the replay here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a barbarian, or no, I don't drop a barbarian. I drop wall breakers to I thought I dropped a barb to distract the archer tower. I guess I didn't. I don't know. So 3 wall breakers to get through the wall. Some wizards to funnel. I didn't break that elixir collector with my barbarians, or my wizards. So I thought that was going to ruin the raid. But as it turns out, the king actually decides to turn around and travel like 12 tiles instead of 2 tiles. So that actually completely saved my raid. If he went outside, I don't think I would have come anywhere near 3-starring anyway. Lightning spell on the witch and the wizards. It kills most of them, but it doesn't actually kill the witch or any of the wizards, I don't think. But the king comes in and does that. BK is stuck trying to get to the queen, who I planned on hopping out, but she wanted nothing to do with that. Now the defending king comes over here just as the king had broken that wall, which is the only reason why this raid ends up working. If the king hadn't broken that wall, this would have been a 1-star probably. If like that timing was so absolutely perfect there, it was ridiculous. It was so lucky. And then I deploy all my hogs here, freeze there. The queen takes out that Tesla before any hogs can pass to it, which completely wasn't my plan. That way none of those hogs are going to pass to the Inferno. But as it turns out, the queen will end up taking out the Inferno. I drop a freeze spell on the not the best freeze spell usage. I drop 2 back-end loons, which is not where I was planning on using them, but I just put them down because I was kind of panicked, and then I realized at this stage that my queen had actually locked on and taken down the Inferno, and I had the 3-star wrapped up. So I was pretty surprised at the outcome of this raid, given how many things went wrong. And it all came down to the king breaking this wall right here. If the king didn't break that wall just before he got distracted by the defending king, this was probably a 1-star. So yeah, pretty nutty raid for me. But I was very excited when this ended up being a 3-star. Right now, at this stage in the raid, I was spamming in GroupMe about how excited I was. Yeah, and then there's about 15 seconds left when the last storage went down. So yeah, 97,000 weight, Town Hall 10, so pretty much maxed. But not the best layout, and I was lucky as hell. Anyway, Resi on number 2. Resi are famous 9.6, 9.5, very extreme 9.5. And he's gonna not shatter, but if you notice, he only has one golem here. So this is actually a CB raid, cold-blooded raid, and that's what allows him to 3-star, because it allows him to carry 18 loons and 4 hounds. So it's kind of a hybrid of the 4 hound, 14 loon, and the 3 hound, like 18, 20 loon Go Lava strats. So he gets the best of both worlds because he can get the Inferno, the Queen, and an air defense, and the CC with just one golem, which is pretty amazing. You'll notice his golem's already basically dead here. So he's going to split into golemites, and now the king is going to take out the queen before the CC comes out. The CC was so far into the base that the king could kill the queen without the CC being lured, and then a absolutely perfect lightning spell kills everything but one minion, so quite the opposite of my lightning spell. And then he's still got his queen's ability left. He'll pop that, take out the Inferno, and then with 4 hounds left and 18 loons, or 19 loons including the CC, and the damage that he's done to this base already, it's a surefire 3-star at this point. So as long as he doesn't clump all his loons into one ball, you should be fine. So gets down to rage. Pretty good rage placement. I personally wouldn't have frozen there. I would have frozen Sweeper, Inferno, air defense, but that's just me, and it was a 3-star, so it didn't matter. It worked out. But that is what I would have done. I would have saved a little hound health. But he did have 4 hounds, so maybe he was thinking that he wanted to wear him down a little bit more. And yeah, so he puts his back end loons over here. This rage, like, barely rages any balloons. It does rage that one lava pup who, like, single-handedly takes down that that expo pretty much. And he's got like 12 loons left or something. 10, 12, 8, 10, 12 loons, and tons of pops because he had 4 hounds and they all popped. So beautiful raid by Resi. Way to have the confidence in bringing only one golem, and that's what allowed him to definitely secure the 3-star. Next, we're on the Foreskins, who attacked another kind of strange looking base. This one isn't an anti-3 like the other one was, the Town Hall centered, and it has a single target Inferno, but at the same time it is a decent wall design for protecting against a 3-star. The wizard towers and air defenses are pretty separated, so it's kind of a anti-2.5-star base like you're seeing once in a while these days, but it's not a very good one. The single Inferno and the just overall pathing of the base and the way the queen isn't really protected at all are its biggest weaknesses. So Foreskins has no problem taking out an Inferno and air defense and the queen, along with the defending CC. And yeah, now he sends in his air. Hey guys, sorry about that. I accidentally hadn't touched my phone in a while, so the screen turned off. Anyway, back to this replay. Those Teslas pop up on the outside there, so they slow down his balloons a little bit, so the hounds get ahead of his balloons. But it's not a problem because the hound is in range of the wizard tower, so the wizard tower stays locked onto that. He rages to take the air defense. Just appreciate the value of the freeze right there. An Expo, a Sweeper, an Inferno, and an air defense. So amazing freeze spell. Way to go. Still has 2 hounds alive. That one gets hit. So now all his hounds are down, but those loons are all going to path to the air defense. 1 loon is tanking the wizard tower for the rest. And now that goes down, the air defense is down, and the archer tower isn't going to do shit. So yeah, great raid by Foreskins, who's been really heating up lately. That he did 6-star this. Yeah, it's an alert. He did 6-star this war, so you'll see his other raid later. Okay, now on to number 8, Rockstar, whose name you won't be familiar with. This is another account of Arcade Hero, who you might remember from the last recap when he had his first 3-star with us. This is another account of his. He brought this account in instead of the other one because this one is Max Heroes, obviously, and he took his Arcade Hero account to a different clan. Debo's army, I believe, actually, is where he took it. Anyway, he rages, jumps. So, Hocus Pocus raid. A lot of random number generation, a lot of randomness in these raids. I actually did one of these to clean up a 2-star because this is actually my favorite 2-star strategy on these bases. Pretty much 100% of the time it gets a 2-star for me. So, and it has a slight 3-star potential, and if you execute it perfectly, and you get a bit of luck, you will 3-star most of the time. Yeah, so I highly recommend this kind of raid on these bases instead of doing like a go wipe or something like that if you don't know how to 3-star them, because all you have to do is spam down the witches and jumps and you have a chance at 3-star and pretty much guaranteed 2-star if you have good heroes. But yeah, for Rockstar here, it does end up working out. Something that might have helped him get the 3-star here is that this base doesn't have max mortars, which is something that usually doesn't matter too much in Clan Wars mortars, but against these Hocus Pocus attacks, they certainly do. Last mortar goes down there, and now it's really just the wizard tower that poses any threat to these witches. And with the queen left with as much health and maybe 6, 7, 8 witches left, maybe even more because there's the one stuck on the side there. He's got plenty of firepower, plenty of shielding, plenty of time to finish off this 3-star. So as the last cannon goes down here, we'll speed up. So that's how you pull off a nice Hocus Pocus, and highly recommend you give that strategy a try for yourself. It doesn't quite require the same planning or skill as some of these other raids, but it is a good way to take care of those very popular anti-2-star bases, and there is a potential to 3-star whenever you use it. Here's another box base, and this time it's 4 skins with his second raid. As I mentioned earlier, he did 6-star. This is his 4th, 5th, and 6th stars of the war in this raid. So he's going to send in his heroes, rage his heroes with the rage spell, which is a little bit interesting. You don't always see that. And he drops the lightning, good lightning spell. Takes care of basically all the troops. He's saving a golem to send in late in this raid here so that tanks the expo for the queen, I think is the plan. Yeah, just as that golem goes down, it's in place so that it's closer than the queen. The expos do get on the queen, but he pops ability, gets him off of her, and now he sends in the air portion of the raid. If he waited a little while longer, the golems probably would have even taken out that air defense, so he would have only had 2 left. But it doesn't matter, you only need to get down 1 in the style of raid. Another great freeze spell, check that out quick. 2 Teslas, an Inferno, and an Expo. So good job with the freeze spell, way to get high value out of it. Way to react when you see those Teslas come up and know what to do. Instead of freezing the Expo and the Inferno and the Sweeper, that was the higher value raid, or higher value freeze right there. As Cleanup Goblin goes down, there's still a Hound alive up top. The Hound's now taking the last 2 Archer Towers. The Tesla goes down. It's just these 2 Archer Towers. I don't think they quite kill the Hound. I don't quite remember. Yeah, I know they don't. So yeah, with the Hound still living, sometimes the cleanup can get a little... Oh, there's a Black Bomb. Okay, yeah. So now he's got plenty of pups to clean up. And even a Golem lives. So, and I think some archers from his Queen ability. So really good job with that raid. Way to go. Next, we're on to Jay's raid on 12. I'm not actually going to show this replay because This is the base it's on. So yeah, that was a Town Hall 9, just 3-starring a troll base or whatever. Now on to Sky, 3-starred by Rezi again. So Rezi also pulling through with a 6-star war. Not the best layout here on this base, I don't think. Another centered Town Hall. It's kind of asymmetric. I don't really know what he's going for here. All the wizard towers are within range of air defenses. The queen's really exposed. Yeah. Not a good anti-3 or really anti-2 base either. Kind of confused. So lightning spell comes down. He gets nicely on that witch there. His king dies, but his queen's got a good amount of health. Not many defenses targeting her. She pops the ability to avoid the wizard's fire. Now she'll lock onto the Inferno, take that down with a little bit of health left. Just in time. And now he'll start the air portion of his raid. So yeah, 2 hounds coming in, the 3rd hound coming in, and he's got a 4th hound remaining in his clan castle. So really putting a lot of hounds at once, and he's really using the hounds to damage the air defense here instead of waiting for loons to get there. And now his last hound goes in on the second to last air defense. 2 of the first 3 hounds come in. Another great rage spell getting an air defense, an Inferno and an Expo, and then Mortar just for show. So a common theme you'll see in these 3-star raids are high value freeze spells. So being able to pick out where there's a high value freeze spell and nailing the deployment on it so that you really freeze all the buildings that you intend to freeze. Now there's still 2 hounds left alive on that air defense, and they're going to live through the whole raid. So to bring 4 hounds and have 2 of them live is pretty impressive. It shows that you really path through the base perfectly, and in this case, this base made it a little bit easy for him to do so because it wasn't the greatest design. But yeah, so really impressive raid from Rezi, and his 6-star for this war is completed. Next, we're on to a raid by Juland. I believe this is also the first time he has had a raid featured in one of these recaps. Juland is one of our newer-ish members, not quite as new as some other Town Hall 10s. But as you can see, he does have pretty weak heroes. So if you're watching this raid and you have similarly weak heroes, this is probably a good thing to watch for you. Having weak heroes doesn't mean you can't 3-star, but it does make it more difficult. Juland hasn't been upgrading his heroes for a while now because he doesn't have any gems to gem the time, and he doesn't want to sit out of war with only 1 hero. So yeah, that's why they're so low, but he is getting gems soon, he said, and he's going to be upgrading his heroes, so I'm really excited to see what he can do when he does have 40/40 heroes. He reminds me a little bit of Scorza Croza, however you say that, the former Clash Heads and now In the Dark player, because I remember watching him 3-star Town Hall 10s with similarly low heroes when I was in Clash Heads AR with him a few months ago. And now that he has 40/40 heroes, he's one of the best attackers in the entire game. So hopefully Juland can be the same for us once he gets those heroes up. Yep, so anyway, nice rage. Another super high value freeze. I'm not going to zoom in on this one because I've done that for every freaking raid, but yeah. High value freezes are key, is the theme of this episode, I suppose, of this recap. So he's got some hounds still alive. Hound goes down just as the balloons arrive on the air defense. So lots of loons left, good amount of pups left, very important barbarians left, and he's going to clean up the rest of the space. So very good attack by Julian, didn't let his heroes hold him back. Way to go. Next round 18, raid by Lexard, one of our co-leaders who took a break from the game, actually retired and then came back just this week out of retirement again, and he's right back into the swing of things, 3-starring. And actually I'm going to show his second raid, which wasn't a 3-star, but he disconnected and got a 75% with only using 2 spells, so it was a pretty impressive raid, and it definitely would have been a 3-star if he hadn't disconnected. So I'll show that after this. And then I'm only going to show, I think, 1 Town Hall 9 raid, because I'll show 3, because this video is going a little long, but I know probably the majority of the people watching this channel Town Hall 9, so they'll want to see some Town Hall 9 raids, so I will show them, I guess. But this is going to be a long recap just because there were 9 Town Hall 10 3-stars. I showed 8 of them, and I'll show the one close call with Lexard. So, yep. Lava Hound CC. I always hate going against the Lava Hound CC as an attacker because I feel like my queen always gets stuck on it and the Inferno never goes down. But because of the space, the Inferno was in a position where the king could take it down. And when the king can get the Inferno and you don't need to rely on the queen, it makes the Lava Hound useless. So that's the case with this base. So 2 hounds in the first air defense, deploys his loons. His last hound is down on the other air defense. Instead of choosing to freeze the Inferno, Tesla, and Expo, he chooses to freeze the Inferno and air defense, so I say that was a good choice. Another smart, high-level, high-value freeze. All the air bombs in the base were in that little corner right there, it looks like. Loon pathing was a little sloppy there. They got a little messed up, but it didn't matter, especially because they're under rage. So now 1 hound left for the last air defense on a pretty good amount of health. These loons will rage their way over to that air defense, and he saved, looks like, 5 loons for the back end to distract the wizard tower and to take out the air defense over there. So yeah, the last expo goes down. Archer tower goes down, the cannon goes down, now it's just cleanup. He did clump all his loons, so that can be a little scary on cleanup, but he had a lot of pups to live, and he even brought a nice little cleanup goblin, so that was more than enough to do the job, so way to go, Lexard. Okay, now to show Lexard's raid on 11. So again, this is a bit of an outdated layout, but he did get 75% with only 3 spells, or 2 spells, so that means he probably could have 3-star this base. Definitely could have 4-star this base, and 5 would have been overkill, so that's a pretty rare thing to see at this level of Town Hall 10, even if it was only 90,000 weight. That's still not super light, and it does have max Infernos and max Expos, so in my book it's a very impressive raid. So Lightning Spell on the CC, lots of golems in the core, giant bomb goes off, a bunch of Teslas pop up. He's going to rage his king, start his hogs down, and that's all the spells he's going to use for this raid, because I think right here he has already been disconnected. So his queen's going to die without being able to use her ability. He's never going to use those last 2 wizards, and he's never going to be able to use that heal or rage spell, which would have been enough to take down that Inferno and heal up these hogs another time, 2 more times actually. So would have been a ridiculously easy, no effort 3-star for him if he hadn't disconnected there. And now this wizard is just gonna dick around and clean up 10%, get some storages, get him some loot, some well-deserved loot for having such a nice raid that he so unfortunately got disconnected from when everything went absolutely perfectly. So shout out for Lexard there. He definitely deserved the 6 stars for war to join the club with Resi and Foreskins. Anyway, showing Town Hall 9 attacks. Where are we? Here. Top Town Hall 9, 3-starred by Crazy Unicorns. This was, I think, the second attack of the war in like the first 2 minutes. So showed he was very confident 3-starring this base right away. And that confidence was uh, well reasonable confidence, because he did 3-star this base and fairly easily. At Town Hall 9 these days, whenever you see a censored Town Hall, that means should be an easy 3-star for players like the Town Hall 9s that we have in our clan, because that is just, it's not the meta anymore to centralize your Town Hall at Town Hall 9 at all. Even more so than at Town Hall 10, it's not. And see him moving through the base here. Everything's going swimmingly. It is an air raid, so he's not worried about popping giant bombs. He's only worried about air defenses, and he's got 2 of them. So now with only 2 air defenses left, 3 hounds, his base is left with his pants down. Defending queen is still alive, but he has his queen's ability to neutralize her, and now game over for this base. With only 2 air defenses, no queen, no CC to defend itself. So sends in his 2 level 2 hounds in, one after another, 1 more to clear traps, and then 1 to arrive at the air defense. The tank actually. Loons coming in following the same path so they don't run into traps themselves. His max CC hound for the backside. Tesla gave him a little bit of a hard time with pathing. He didn't account for it, I'm sure, because this is a first attack, one of the first attacks of the war. So this max CC hound finally pops at just the right time. Teslas go down. Back end loons for that archer tower. Archer tower's down. Cannon's down. Tons of pups left over. Even 2 loons that he's just going to use for cleanup. He doesn't even have to deploy on the back end to take out any defenses. So, oops. Great raid by Crazy. Base never stood a chance. Now we'll show... no, I'm not going to show another one of Crazy's raids. Okay, we'll show Kio's raid on 21. 21 on 21. And no, we showed this exact same layout get 3-starred in the last recap. One of Hulk's old bases. This is a bit of a Town Hall 9. I don't know what this base is. It kind of looks like a farm base to me, the way its walls are all weird like that. But it's another Go Lava Loon. With the announcement of the second air sweeper, I think our Town Hall 9s wanted a last hurrah for their Go Lava Loon raids, so we saw a good bit of them in this war. Because I don't think at Town Hall 9 it's going to be as viable of a strategy as it was before. To really pull off a raid, I think you're now going to have to include an air sweeper in the list of things you need to take out with your kill squad in order to 3-star. Whereas hogs, which are already the more powerful meta strat right now with surgical hogs, you don't need to take out the air defense. You really only need to pop 1 giant bomb and kill the queen and CC with your kill squad, and then you can pretty much 3-star any base with surgical hogs if you deploy them properly. Yeah, loons coming in, hounds tanking, hounds left on that air defense. 1 air defense is still not tanked by a hound, and now he sends in his max CC hound. Something to take note of, it seems it's popular to save the CC hound for the last air defense. Not exactly sure why that is as a Town Hall 10. It's not something I worry about because all my hounds that I use are max. But yeah, so it seems to be popular at Town Hall 9 to use your CC hound for the last air defense. So anyway, maybe if you're struggling at Town Hall 9 a little bit, and if the nerf by the second sweeper isn't too hard in the future, yeah, maybe that's something you can give a try. So yep, Tesla goes down, maybe 8 or so loons, tons of minions. Tons of pops, I should say, left, and you're going to clean up the rest of the base. So, yeah, none of them really ran anti-3 Town Hall 9 layouts, nothing very good. This is a very outdated design. So actually, we're just going to cut it there on the Town Hall 9, because this has been a really long video already because of how many Town Hall 10 3-stars there are, and I still have to talk about this current war that we're matched in. We're matched against a level 6 Chinese clan with 145 wins, and as you can see from some of their profiles, like, check this guy out, 732 war stars, this guy 655, this guy 648, this guy 586, like, they have lots of war stars, 547, 584. This guy's their top 9, 426. This guy is a 9.5, 555 or 552. So yeah, you get the idea. Basically, they have some pretty serious war stars and war wins. And if you look at their bases, this is their 19.5, who is a wannabe Resi. He's working on maxing out those walls, but he does have a lot of max Town Hall 10 defenses and does have a third Expo, even though he doesn't have any Infernos. I wouldn't be surprised if he built them for this war. And that's how many we have 10 Town Hall 10s with Infernos on our side, or they have 10 on their side. Theirs all have max Infernos. We have 9 ones with max Infernos and 1 with level 2 Infernos, I think. But where this war doesn't look quite so good for them is at the 9s. They have 2 defenseless Town Hall 5 accounts, so they're going to be completely useless other than for scout attacks. So I guess they get 4 scout attacks on us with these. So basically, so they'll be somewhat useful, I guess. I don't. Depends on how much they can uncover, or if they're, yeah, how much they can uncover. And they've won 8, so really they have 6 scouting attacks that are useless. This is probably going to have to be a scout attack 2 because he only has 200 camp space. So 8 useless attacks. 10-4 heroes probably can't 3-star any of our 9s. So yeah, so they have 12, it looks like. Or no, just 8. Yeah, so it looks like they have 8 attacks that are basically useless. Because the bases aren't high enough, or no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so they have 10 attacks that are gonna be good for nothing, basically. But if we look a little higher up, let's say 30, their 9s increase in quality. So basically from here up, all these 9s have good heroes and they're 3-star threats. And they are running bases that look fairly up to date, anti-3 bases. They're actually running a lot of Dragonflower Town Hall 9 bases, which from what I have seen aren't the best, but I'm not Town Hall 9. Maybe these are good Dragonflower Town Hall 9 bases, don't know. So yeah, looks to be a good war. I don't think it should be really any problem for us unless they are 3-star beasts somehow. But I figure if they really had a ton of 3-star Town Hall 10 guys, or a couple really good ones, we would have heard of them before, and we've asked around and no one really seems to know who these guys are. So yeah, they probably avoid most hard wars with these 2 accounts. They probably help them get out of matching a lot of Elite War clans. So anyway, that's been this video. So look forward to next war. I said the war that we were just in might be an interesting one. Turned out it wasn't the case, but I think this one has a really good chance of being within 5 stars, I'd say. There's a good chance this war is within 5 stars. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll get the next recap up to you when I can. Sorry, this one took a little while to get up because it took us so long. Hiccups. It took us so long to find a match. It took us 8 hours of searching to find a match. We usually restart every 15 minutes, and after a while we started restarting every 20 minutes, and then restart every 30 minutes, and then eventually we let it go, and it took like an hour for it to find a match the last time we just let it run. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching for about the 9th time I've said that. It's been Gam from the Black Lodge, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.